So this is a problem. What's up everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Eric Brown, and today I'm going to be talking about how I lost over $1,000 worth of equipment in less than 24 hours. And on top of that, someone else in our group lost their iPhone 12. So put that all together, we probably lost between $1,600 and $1,800 in one trip. So yeah, let's not waste any time and let's just jump right into it. So the beginning of the story is we flew down to Miami, Florida. We were going to do some shoots with a professional race car driver, Nate Aranda. He's got a really cool YouTube channel. We do a lot of content over there, so make sure to check him out. We do everything from, cars to racing to lifestyle, travel, everything fun like that. So yeah, I brought all my gear. I brought my Canon EOS R5. I brought my drone. I brought all the audio equipment, lighting equipment, everything I needed. And it was just supposed to be a really fun trip. The first day we went jet skiing, where I actually crashed this. We went to a park in Miami, and they have these, this little track set up for stand-up jet skis, or I'm sure just jet skis in general. But either way, I was doing some tracking. I was putting it in sport mode, and it was a pretty windy day, and there was a lot of gusts, which was a problem. Because with steady wind, it's one thing to kind of anticipate but when the gusts come up, it's really hard to kind of anticipate it with a drone. So what was happening was I was following the jet ski, and I was in sport mode, and I started to stop maybe 100 feet, 150 feet before the tree, before the edge of the lake, and the wind kind of caught it as I was trying to revert and bring the drone back, and it just slammed directly into the tree. And it fell straight down into the water, and it was really murky and really muddy, and you just couldn't see much. Like it just was like a nasty green color, so it was really difficult to find the drone. But I ended up obviously finding it after about 10 minutes, and it was obviously fully submerged, pretty wet and muddy. But I popped the battery out right away, and I was just like, there's just no way. I mean, there's no way it's going to turn on. Obviously, the gimbal's destroyed. I'm just lucky I found it with the SD card, because I got some really cool drone footage that day. So I was at least happy about that. But I ended up drying it out. I put it next to kind of like a fan at night, and it was kind of a heated fan, and it dried it out. And I just had no faith. I was like, there's no way it's going to turn on. I kind of left it for a day just because I was like, there's no way. There's no way it's going to turn on. And sure enough, it turned on after being submerged for over 10 minutes. But I got it dried out, got it back on, and now I just gotta send it into DJI, and I hope they can fix that. But as you can tell, it's pretty messed up. I mean, it's completely shattered in the front. They're gonna have to replace this entire piece. I can replace the blades. That's not a problem. I mean, that's pretty easy. I would be shocked if the sensors and everything were okay from the water damage. They're just gonna have to do a full assessment. But yeah, that was the story with this. I just got really unlucky, and I mean, it's like completely destroyed in there. But anyways, I just got really unlucky with this, and the wind caught it, like I said, and it just carried it. It just would not stop. Like, I tried everything. I stopped at least 100, 150 feet before the trees, and it just sailed right into the tree line and just smashed right into it. The file got corrupted, so I don't have the footage. I just have the footage of me retrieving it. But this drone has been through a lot. I've crashed it into numerous trees since I bought it. Actually, the first day I flew it, I had to send it into DJI for repairs, because I did use sport mode, and I did crash it into a tree, and it did break the gimbal a little bit. It broke one of the sensors. I think it was like $80 to fix it. Not a big deal. But yeah, this thing's been through a lot. I've crashed into a tree in Colorado when I had a critically low battery, and I barely managed to get it back up on the road. Miraculously, it did not get hit by a car as I was trying to maneuver it back onto the road into a safe place where I could land it to go retrieve it, because it was just a sheer cliff where it was trying to land, and I don't know if I would have been able to recover it. So I was really fortunate to be able to fly it back up onto the road, not get hit by a car, and then land it in a safe area. So this thing's been through a lot. I've used it for over a year. I've gotten tons and tons of great footage. I've taken it to Hawaii. I've taken it to Florida. I've taken it to Moab. I've taken it to Ouray. I've taken it to Silverton. I've taken it to all these amazing places, and it's just one of those things. I mean, you fly, and eventually your luck's gonna run out. with these things, and you know, I like to push it to the limit. You know, when I'm with Nate, I'm with, you know, the guys we film with, we like to really push things to the limit and try to get really good footage. But yeah, it's really unfortunate that I destroyed this drone, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to come up with a work order and put it in and see what DJI can do. So that was day one. Day one, I crashed this drone, almost lost it completely, miraculously recovered it, but that was day one. The next day we were out on the water. We were just hanging out. You know, we were in the intercoastal. I'm not really too familiar with like the Miami lingo and all that. I try to keep up best I can, but I'm not from there. I just travel out there once or twice a year for racing and hang out and film and do all that kind of fun stuff. But I think we were in the intercoastal near Miami, and we were just kind of grilling, having a good time. You know, we were just kind of kicking back. Nate's racing coach Juan has a boat, so we went on his boat and he brought some food with us to barbecue and just have a good time, you know, have fun, kick back, relax, and get some cool footage. And he was flying his drone. He had charged the battery all night. He put it up and he was going to go track the boat as we were going through the intercoastal, and he immediately got a critically low battery warning, and the drone started to land. The boat's moving forward in the canal, in the intercoastal, and the drone is flying behind it. So he was desperately trying to like catch up to the boat and try to land it, and there's canopies everywhere. I mean, there's not an easy spot to land this thing when the boat is moving. Just to remind you, he's also the captain of the boat, and he was trying to just fly the drone, track it, and then go land it, right? So he could still, you know, captain the boat and not have to worry about flying the drone and all that. So he's trying to track it. They get a critically low battery warning. It starts to land on the water. And these things, they just land. Like, they will not stop. They'll land no matter what, where they are. It doesn't matter. They're just going to land. And you have to really fight it to try to get it back to where it's going. And the more you fight it, the quicker the battery goes out. At least it seems like that. So he's trying to get it back to the boat while also stopping the boat and trying to fly it. He hands me the controller after several attempts, and I kind of take over. There's maybe 3% or less on the battery. Like, I have seconds to try to land this thing. I get to the point where I'm successfully parallel, and I fly it over, and the idea was for Juan to catch it, because there's no good spot to catch it on the back of the boat. There's, you know, there's railings, there's all kinds of stuff to where it would make it really difficult to try to maneuver it on and land it on the boat as it's moving. So he goes up and grabs it, but the blades actually hit his hand. You know, as the blades actually hit his hand, it must have came at an angle or something, because it nipped him, and then it kind of backed off, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I know I can do this again. So I went back around, came forward to the side of the boat again, where I could just kind of maneuver over parallel to where Juan was so he could catch it. But he had stopped the boat, and there's a massive current in the intercoastal. So what's happening to the boat is it's straight, and I'm flying the drone, it's now parallel. The boat's turning, which I can't see because I'm in the back of the boat, but it's actually turning. So here I am trying to look at the screen, you know, look at the drone, trying to get it to where I could get it back over to Juan so he can catch it. And I didn't see that the boat was turning because of the current, and it hit the side of the boat and just fell straight down into the water. And I mean, you're moving so fast, the water's moving so fast that it doesn't seem like it, because, you know, you're on the water, but everything's moving quickly. And so it sank. By the time we found some goggles, you know, found some gear to jump into the water and try to go retrieve it, I mean, we had drifted 100 feet, maybe more. So it was almost impossible to recognize where we were at and to go dive in and try to find it. I mean, it was only probably 9 or 10 feet of water, but it would have been like finding a needle in the haystack at that point, because the water just carries you so quickly. So that was even though I was only captain of the ship I was only captain of the drone for maybe 10 seconds, I'm still responsible for crashing it. So I've crashed 2 drones in less than 24 hours. Like I said, one of the guys in our group also lost an iPhone 12, which is, I don't know, you tell me the retail, $800-900, crazy. So it was a very expensive trip, to say the least. I'm really hoping, you know, with the warranty and the insurance and all that, I can get this repaired pretty cheaply. I really like this drone a lot. It's the DJI Mavic 2 Air 2, and it's, like I said, I've done so much with it. I really enjoy the DJI products, so I'm hoping they can get this repaired. This thing's been everywhere with me. So yeah, that's the sad truth of the adventures that we had in Miami, breaking equipment. And what's crazy is I really try to take really good care of my equipment, you know, I go above and beyond to make sure everything's packed right and settled in. I mean, all this stuff is so expensive. Any videographer out there, any photographer knows exactly what I'm talking about. This stuff is not cheap ever. Every job that we do, every time we go do a job and all that, the last thing we're thinking about is breaking equipment and then going to having to go buy more equipment. It's an investment. You know, you want to do jobs, save up, then buy better equipment and sell your old gear. Well, I mean, stuff like this happens. I'm out $500 or $600 for this drone. Luckily, my buddy has lost some prevention as well, but he lost some good footage on his drone. And that's the story of me losing over $1,000 in less than 24 hours. Stuff can happen. Bad stuff. We push the limit and karma eventually catches up to us. Well, everybody, I really appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, go check out Nate Aranda's YouTube channel. We do a lot of really cool content over there. I work with a lot of different companies and brands doing product stuff, real estate, photography, and all that. And I also do a lot of traveling. I travel so much. So I want to do more and more of these types of videos, you know, adventures, travels, that kind of stuff. So let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in. I go to Moab all the time. I go to Colorado. I live in the Southwest, so we got a lot of really cool places I travel to. And then I do a lot of traveling with Nate as well for racing. We go to all over the Midwest, all over the Southeast. We go to a lot of really cool tracks. So if it's something you're interested in, please subscribe and like, and drop me a comment below, and I'll catch you next time.